Greetings! Hey everybody! Welcome back to the Cosmic Crusade podcast! I don't know, I was feeling that one. Hey, it's J-Beds. How are we doing today? How is it going? What's new? What's up? Dude, today really has been quite a day. And, okay, it's these past 2 days because, listen, mainly my schedule is very flippy-floppy because, like, half of the week I'm closing and then, like, the tail end of the week for 2 of my shifts I'm, like, opening or, like, in the morning time. So I'm in that point right now, like, just did a 5 a.m. and my brain's like, like, I came home and I took my nap. Don't worry, we rejuvenated, but it's still like that groggy. But hey, hi, what's up? Let's get into the updates. Let's get into the high-low water buffalo. You know how we do it. Okay, so for the high this episode, I'm gonna say that I am appreciative of my boyfriend. That's my high. Appreciation for my partner and the person who is residing within my home and sharing the space with me because the groundhog situation is being managed. The groundhog situation is being taken care of. Now listen, if you haven't heard this lore, I have groundhogs tunneling, like, right outside my house. Like, I see their tunnel going down, and when I look down into their tunnel, I see my foundation. So, I said, I'm in danger. Help! So, I was trying to manage it kindly, nicely, be real demure with it, and I said, "Oh, groundhogs, this is your eviction notice, time to leave." And I looked up online and I was like, what do I do? So, like, there was these chemical concoctions that we would do. They hate cayenne pepper. Oh, if you put your dog shit near the hole, that's a sentence. If you sprinkle the cat litter around, like, it's marking its territory. And I'm like, okay, yeah, no, that makes sense. Like, very primitive, animalistic nature, it makes sense. Like, oh, well, there's dog poop here. There's cat litter soaked in urine that's here. Like, we should not be in this area. This is, like, their territory. They didn't give a fuck. He did not care at all. He did not have a single care in the world that he was invading my space, my dog's space, and the cat's space. Like, hello? Hello? Very rude. Very rude, I might add. So, yeah. They don't like the cayenne pepper. They don't give a fuck. And then there was, like, some concoction that you did with dish soap and ammonia. And they didn't care. Like ammonia, like the cleaning chemical, glug down the hole, did not care. Maybe dug a little further somewhere else for a second, but came right back. So, anywho, very blessed. My good friend Cassandra had this little, like, live trap where it's like, okay, you put the bait in there and the animal walks in and you put the bait past the pressure plate so they have to walk on it and the door closes behind them. And I said, awesome. So that was a great solution, and that did work. That has been the only effective method, I fear. But we caught one. Damien took it away. And he went out into a wildlife preserve wooded area with trees and, like, yay, go away. But here's more lore in the situation. So that day that Damien got the babes, the little beast, removed, I was going to work. I was out. He went to work after me, so he was going out. And the neighbor said, hey, you got one. Well, lo and behold, it was one big papa that was up in there, but there was a baby that was, like, outside the crate, the cage, the trap, you know. So my fingers are just crossed that, like, they forget that happened, you know, that they aren't going to think about that going forward in terms of, like, oh, the trap being set and functioning. Like, I hope they're not smart enough to catch up on that, because sweet treats. I have sweet treats for you. I have little apple, I have little strawberry, there's little grape, there's little groundhog salad. Whatever you want. You're spoiled. We treat you like kings. Come on in, come on in. And we trap you. It would take you away. Far, far, far away. But we're gonna take them, like, to the same area. We're not gonna, like, try and separate the family. Like, we're trying to be as humane as possible within the situation, okay? That's where we're at with that one. So, I came home today, and I was, like, checking the trap, you know, because we're trying to be on top of this. We don't want them to be there for, like, days on end. That's a little cruel. But I came home and I checked the trap, and I heard a little something going on. I was like, oh my God, there's something in that trap. Like, we got one. We got another one. And I look, and I see him peeping his little head out of the hole. And I'm like, oh God, if I just fuck this up, I'm going to be upset. Like, if I just fuck this up, I'm going to be upset. But, anywho, the groundhog lore, it's been a big stressor. It has been a big stressor in my mind for a while because it's like, I need to deal with this. And I need to deal with it, like, now. But, like, it's a time thing. Like, you can't just get rid of all of them in a single day. So I just had to take a step back, and I took a step back, and Damien took a step up, and I'm highly appreciative of that. The low. Okay. Now listen, I don't remember what it is. I should have done research before talking about this, but listen, it's emotional imbalance for me. That's my low. My emotions, babes, it's like I'm on my period, okay? I have been feeling all of the feelings, and like, it's not situational. It's just outcoming. It's just, oh, there's this burst, and oh, here's this emotion now. Oh, and here's this emotion now. Have fun. But, okay, so I think I read something that was like, it's related to the solstice, because right now is the solstice, and I think that has been like leading up to it, because like with any astrological event, it's kind of like, my general rule of thumb is like 3 days before, and then like the event happens, so that's like the peak, and then the 3 days after, that's when you can feel the energy. That's when you start getting into tune with what's happening. And so I think that happened with the solstice. I think we were getting ready for the solstice, and like, honestly, the week and a half leading up to it has been like, whoa, emotionally. But I was reading online that the solstice caused it, so you know, astrology wins. But I am talking like, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just waking up into emotions, which is so strange for me because usually I'm waking up and the first thing I'm thinking about is, what am I going to be eating? Okay, I'm one of them bitches that wake up and I'm saying, I need to eat. I need to get up in that kitchen. I need to whip me up some eggs, some toast, some biscuits, whatever. Got my southern out for you. But I just don't feel like it's typical for me to go through these sensations. And like, what was happening was like, I'm literally waking up in the middle of the night crying. Like, and I don't remember any dreams that were like crazy or traumatic, because like, listen, darling, when you're a smoker, the Zaza kind of blocks out the dreams. You don't dream as much when you're on the weed. So, like, that's real, that's legit. Like, I don't dream all that much. So usually whenever I do, I'm taking it as like, okay, this is something that I need to be putting into my dream journal. This is like communication from spirit. I need to be downloading this information right now. So for me to just be like, waking up out of a dead sleep, sobbing. I mean, I had to pee, like, that's why I was getting up. But, like, also, I'm just crying. And I'm like, oh, okay, what? Listen, I am a very air sign energy, and emotionally that gets channeled through, like, aloofness, like, bottling up the emotions. That's very me, but, like, I'm aware of it, so, like, I try to create space for that in a sort of regular basis. You know, sometimes we do better with that, sometimes we do worse with that. We're fluid. But I will say that it's out of the norm for me to have that experience. And then that same day, like, I went back to bed after that situation, whatever, and everything was fine. And when I actually got up for the day, we were Gucci. Until about 10 minutes away from work, I'm driving on to work, we're getting there, 10 minutes out, oh, I just start losing it. Oh, I just start sobbing again. And I'm like, huh? Huh? Because what? Why? Why? You know, it's not like anything was happening. And it's not like, listen, I have cried because I don't want to go to work before. I have had that situation. That's so real, okay? But it wasn't that. It wasn't me hating the job, crying to work. It was just, I actually couldn't tell you what it was. And then another instance of that was with anger. Like the same thing of I'm waking up and like the first thing I'm feeling is like rage, fury. I'm pissed. All right, I'm ready to like knock someone out. Like I feeling that white boy rage. Okay, I'm not physical like that, but you know what I mean. Like that crazy fucking white boy rage. And I just wake up in a state of like fury and frustration, and it's almost like I'm overstimulated. You know, it's almost like an overstimulating sensation. And I think that in and of itself, waking up to that, and that's the first thing that I'm starting off with, is also upsetting in its own right. So, I don't know. That's been crazy. But with that, I have been doing like nervous system regulation, like EFT tapping. And I think next week or next episode. I'm not committing to a week. I'm bad at that. And I don't want to confine and restrain myself. But a near future episode, I'll be sharing lore on that. It's really cool. You like tap your body in all these locations and then regulates your nervous system. Cool shit. Cool shit. It's like more holistic type of therapy. And, you know, that type of therapy is always very interesting to me. I love trying out those things and seeing like what works for me and what doesn't. And like, I don't care what it is, I'll try it. I'm gonna try everything once, you know? Yeah, so that's the low, the emotions being cuckoo, and water buffalo, something strange, something obscure, something random, something new. I think I had intentions in my brain last episode to start talking about this, but I don't know that I did. So if this is a repeater, sorry about it. But I got 15-pound dumbbells. Getting so strong. Getting so strong like bull with my new 5-pound heavier dumbbells. Rah! Like, it's crazy. It's actually like so insane for me to go through a workout session because like, listen, so here's my routine. 5 days a week, I make sure to like set aside 30 minutes to exercise, and for like at least 3 of those days I want to do cardio. For 2 of those days I want to do like strength training, and then I sprinkle in yoga all throughout the week. Like I feel like I do yoga at least 2 or 3 times a week. I love it. Oh, I love it. I feel like it's just so yummy for the body. I really do believe that like yoga is something that everybody should be doing because like it's physical, but it's mental as well, because yoga is like a meditative trance that you can get yourself into. Yoga is a form of meditation. It's very delightful, and you know, take it at your own pace, do whatever, but it's good. It's yummy for the body. Your body will thank you. But the dumbbells, oh wow, feeling like the sore feeling of like, oh, my body is noodles. I haven't had that in a minute. Like, I have not had that in a minute. Like, I felt like a little lightly sore, but like, it's me getting used to the lighter dumbbells that made me say, okay, it's time to move up a little bit. And like, we're actually struggling again, which is good. You know, we're growing and we're improving in that aspect of things, but yeah. Okay, bonus buffalo for you bitches. I finally, we are getting there. We are inching closer. I feel like I am scraping for my life, fighting to get there, but I just updated my calendar and I raced it all and I put the dates on there. Kesha's on there officially, and the cruise is on there officially. We are getting there. Oh my god, we are getting there. We're going to Bermuda. We're gonna be on the island. I'm gonna be snorkeling in the triangle. Oh my lord. Hello, I am very excited. And Kesha, like the week before that, I don't think I'm gonna be good. I don't think I'm gonna be good next month. Let me tell ya. Let me tell you what, because it's gonna be so go, 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 go. And it's gonna be so many, like, events and things happening because it's the cruise, it's the Kesha, it's the anniversary, it's the birthdays, it's I'm gonna be working too, and just the regular things of life, but like, wow, a busy, good month. I am very excited. But with that being said, that was crazy. But with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into this month because happy Pride Month, babes. Get comfy, get cozy, get ready to talk about everything from the mystic to the cryptic and all the wonderful wild shits in between because we are talking about Pride for this episode, okay? We are talking about all of the wonderful queer LGBTQIA+, all the wonderful humans. We're talking about it all because it's the month and it's lovely. And yeah, so here's my story and my life in relationships to being a gay person. I had inclinations of something in middle school, you know. It's crazy because, I don't know, there was like, in my mindset at that young age, it felt good to have boxes to check off, to have like these stereotypes to conform to. And the funny thing is I was flipping and flopping between all of them. You know, it's one week I'm telling my girlfriends, I'm like, hey, I'm a homo. And then it's the next week I'm saying, I don't know, I'm bi. And then it's the next week and I'm like, I'm straight. And then like that whole thing delved even crazier once we got into high school with the gender identity in and of itself being like, I don't know, I'm just going to be a little CD, going to be a little cross-dresser moment. And then it's like, no, I'm she-they, you know, you can call me Justice. And then it's, well, whatever. That's like the now is the whatever, you know. It was a lot of flipping back and forth, and you know, I can say this within my full heart and soul that every human being has something beautiful about them and something to be appreciative of within themselves. And, you know, it's so interesting to try to formulate that as a kid, but I think it was more so around like 7th grade. I think that's when I was like, okay, I am ready. I'm locking in my answer, Steve. Like, yes, 100%. I will take full on gay for 100, please. And I think it was around that age range that I was like, yeah, this is me. And I was like coming out to everybody. And my coming out story is like lame. My coming out story is like, oh, not good. Because listen, my relatives, the people that I'm related to, I think that like a lot of them have closed minds. I think that like a lot of them are like just innately hateful people. A lot of the relatives and like people that were around me as a youngin' are just like judgmental, you know, we like to make fun of everybody just for the hell of it. We're racist, we're homophobic, and you know, being around that was just like very uncomfortable to say the absolute bare minimum. Uncomfortable. Wow. So, like, coming into my identity at a young age in an environment such as that, very interesting experience, I will say. And, you know, some point you just start making your own decisions and kind of having that nature versus nurture separation in the sense of like, okay, this is what I was brought up, but this is what I really am. Like, this is how I perceive myself and how I would like to present myself at my core to best serve my experience in this lifetime. And for me, it was like, I just don't, like, I just can't imagine. And like, listen, I've always been like a little shy, a little introverted, socially anxious. So like, I just can't imagine sitting down and like opening up like that, you know, just like feels like I'm open fire, baby, because like I already know based on how the people around me were speaking on other gay people, other lesbians, other, you know, just people of all varieties. It's just based on how they were talking about anyone that was outside of their very small scope of a norm. I did not have like the courage to say it in person. I didn't feel comfortable. I was just very anxious of that conversation and what it would withhold. So in my best little Aquarius way, I said, "Hey baby, avoidance? I am the queen, so goodbye." And I think we were on like a field trip, and it was like an overnight field trip, like I was not gonna be home. And so I just sent out a text and I said, "I'm here. I'm queer. Good luck." I'm like, I don't know. I don't think you're gonna like it that much. But you know, whatever. We live and we learn. The past is the past. Everything that has happened for a reason, and it happened in the exact way that it was meant to get me to where I am personally today. And, you know, I don't think that I would have changed anything in the sense of, like, it's molded me to be the person that I am. Now, obviously, like, everyone would go through and adjust little things here and there to make their life nicer and, like, more accommodating and more comfortable, but there's aspects of, like, lessons that exist within the traumas, within the discomforts, within the realization of your own innate nature, right? And like, listen, if I grew up how I perceived those around me to exist and what they would want to mold me as, I just, oh God, I can't even imagine. Like, it just feels so unaligned with myself because it's like, I don't care if you're fat. I don't care if you're not conventionally beautiful to like the beauty standards. I don't care if you have crazy hair, if you have no hair, if you are any shade from white to black to purple to blue to 3 heads to 4 tails to you want to have 4 girlfriends to you want to have a whole polyamorous family to you want to be absolutely alone. Like, I don't care. I think that, like, okay, also, it's so crazy. I am not, like, listen, I'm not a political person, and I'm bad at keeping up on the news. But here's a quick little tidbit that came to my brain space, and I'm going to share with you, and it's called Avatar: The Last Airbender. Some points I was thinking we were the Fire Nation. However, we're Ba Sing Se. We are Ba Sing Se. Come on. There is no war in Ba Sing Se. Us, 100%. Anywho, I really just don't understand how you can hate someone. Like, and I'm talking like legitimately hate. Just for such surface level things. You know? And it's interesting to me and it blows my mind how much attention and energy that these types of people, like the haters, would be pouring into the things that they hate. Because the thing about me, and this is true for people as well within myself, if I don't like it, if I don't vibe with it, I don't give it attention. I don't give it my energy. Because what you're paying attention to and what you are speaking on and what you are giving energy to is what is going to be manifesting in your reality. That is what is going to be coming right back to you, baby. So, I don't know. Very interesting. I just don't put energy into things that I hate. So, for me, very obscure, very interesting, very... I could never ever. If something as not going to affect you as me being gay is, then honey, we don't need to converse. There's the door. Toodaloo. If something as not going to affect you as me welcoming any and all pronouns and not giving a shit is, honey, we don't need to, there's the door. Toodaloo, boo-boo. Best of luck, peace and love, but not the one. Not the one. No thank you. No ham, no ma'am, no turkey. It's crazy. And it's just crazy. And I just think there are so many opportunities that people will lock themselves out of being like that. You know, just being hateful like that. Life's a little easier when you live in it with love. And I'll say that. Life is a little easier when lived with love. But my first actual, like, Pride event that I went to was, like, 2016. And that was crazy. That was, like, same era. Same, like, middle school era. And, like, I'm just being... Must have been, like, 2017 then, actually. Because I think I was able to drive. Because I drove us. It was me and my bestie at the time, and we went to the Cleveland Pride, and it was so, like, low-key and, like, under the table that, like, we literally got up and went to the mall when it was opening so we could go to, like, Hot Topic and get, like, Pride merch to go to Pride a few hours later. Like, that's crazy work. Crazy. And then I've been to Pride, like, probably 3 or 4 times. And, you know, it's always a good time, you know? And I've gone through a variety of ages, like when I was a teenager to now, that I can, like, drink and experience that side of things as well. It's awesome, you know? You get to see all of these beautiful people. There is such a wide variety of people at Pride. And, you know, if nothing else, pull up to see the people, because I will guarantee you that there are some people that are rocking outfits or, you know, wearing makeup or styling their hair or doing something in a way that you have absolutely never seen before. And it's so cool. It is so cool. Like, I just feel that Pride is a very creative outlet for everybody in the lens of self-expression. And I love that. I love that. Come on, safe space. It's giving no judgment. It's giving no inhibitions. Release your inhibitions and feel the rain on your skin, honey. Very good. Very cool. And, you know, there's always wonderful music going on and various forms of entertainment, and I love it. And of course, while it is absolutely beautiful and wonderful to have that self-expression and creativity aspect, I think it's also important that we have that space and a sense of visibility and a sense of, like, I mean, in today's world, it's like, honey, we're here and we're not going anywhere, okay? Sorry about it, but, like, move over, because you gotta make space. And I think it's important that we do have these events and we are holding space for each other in a community, in an uplifting sense, in a representational sense. Like, the world gets too fucking crazy when it's driven by hate. Hatred's gotta go. The ins and outs list of 2025 for the New Year's resolution, that energy, hatred is added to the out list, okay? Bigotry is added to the out list. It was never in. We're just emphasizing the fact that it's out, okay? Because it's never in. It's never cool. It's never fun. It's never a joke to just demean and be outwardly rude to somebody just for the hell of it, you know? Just because you disagree with the way that they're living their lifestyle. Very interesting. Just because you disagree with the way that they exist. Somebody else's existence is bothering you that much, I fear you have something going on underlying deep down in there. Pride has always been a wonderful time, great event to go to, and also in middle school, I started like watching like Jeffree Star, and I started getting into like makeup and drag queens and like that very creative outlet of expression of it all. And that was crazy because I actually did YouTube when I was a kid, and it was me doing this, and then they got me gal, and I got in trouble, and I stopped the YouTube's thing. So, number one, great to be back in all of this, and number two, it's great to express myself how the fuck I want to, because I've already done makeup on this channel, and I love it. I love a little creativity. I love a little painting moment. Painting my face, yes. Hello. Wonderful. I still haven't gotten up in like full drag though. That's definitely something that's gonna happen one day. Perhaps it'll make an episode appearance. Who knows? Who knows? But, you know, there's just so many wonderful, beautiful aspects and scopes to look through and experience in the world in and of itself. But within the community, you know, everybody has their own flavor, everybody has their own take, and I think that's wonderful, you know? I think our differences really do shine through in the sense of like something that is to be embraced. Because listen, at the end of the day, if we were all the same gray blob, that would be the most boring world that you could possibly live in. And I wouldn't want to live in it. I'd rather live in the color. I'd rather live under that rainbow, honey. So, it's wild. And yeah, so for a little while there, I was playing around with makeup as a kid. And then also as a kid, my first boyfriend, that was also like when I was 16. I was working at Burger King and I dated my manager. Yeah, listen, workplace relationships, from my experience, I can say no. I can say gets messy. Gets messy. You know, you just have to see the person. You can't avoid it. Which, like, when you're getting into it is all like, hee, hey, oh my god, we're working together, bestie. But, like, in actuality, when, like, well, if workplace relationships work out sometimes, it happens, sure, but in my case it didn't. So, when the breakup happened, it was so weird, it was so awkward, it was so, to be there and work together and be on shift together. And honestly, honor that moment entirely, because that's a part of what shipped me off to Starbucks to begin with. So, exactly like I said earlier, everything happened for a reason. Good, bad, the ugly, the embarrassing. You know, we love it all. We love it all. But yeah, I had my first boyfriend, manager at Burger King when I was 16. It was so fun. It was so fun. I was such a bad little boy. Just sneaking out in the middle of the night to go to my midnight escapades of romance and pleasure. It's crazy. Don't do that. Don't ever do that. Absolutely let somebody know where you are. Crazy things can happen, especially in this world. I don't trust people. I don't trust people. Not like that. But, you know, just kids being kids, having fun, hanging out, doing our thing. And I think that relationship was like 6 months. My first relationship, I think it was like legit 6 months. Like, it was short, it wasn't long. And like also my time at Burger King was like 8 months. So that was literally a chapter, a snippet of my life, which is crazy to think about now, because like I'm coming upon a year of being in this house, and that's like, wow, insanity. Not ready to grasp that. Reality is not setting in with that one at all. But also, it's like, dang, what a short time. But it felt like so much happened in that short time, you know? All the firsts. All the firsts. And that's some, like, early dating lore. Which I will say, I feel as someone who was existing in a more, like, rural area. Ugh. It's the same thing as the relatives and, like, the closed-minded, you know. There weren't too many of the fruitcakes in the basket if you're picking up what I'm putting down, darling. Out there in rural Ohio, there's not too many pickings. So, it's kind of crazy because, like, even, like, the dating in a rural area, that could be an episode itself, damn. But, like, it's very, how many fish are in the tank? Because, sure, there's an ocean, but what you got right by you is a tank. And, slim pickings. You already know them all. Wild, wild times. But, you know, I believe that every human being is beautiful within their own way. I believe that every human being is deserving of peace, love, respect, and abundance. And, you know, that's what I take pride in. That's the humanitarianism of the Aquarius energy. I love it, you know. We gotta watch out for each other because at the end of the day, that's all we got. This world is gonna blow up on us and, well, we're kind of doing it. And that's on climate change. And that's on environmentalism. And that's on murder. Oh, jeez, yes. Well, thank you all for tuning in. I don't have a reading prepared for you today. The cards are put away. They're actually soaking up under the moonlight right now. They're charging, so we're going to leave them be. And what I will leave you with is a deep cleansing breath. Take a little inhale. Hold it at the top. Release a full exhale. And just let some weight lift off your shoulders. And know that you ain't gotta take it that seriously. Like, life isn't that serious and it doesn't have to be that serious. Go forward in your day with a little more love and light and passion and compassion and empathy within your heart. Throw a smile in your face and, you know, maybe just think about 3 little things that you're grateful for and say them aloud. You know that manifestation thing we were talking about earlier? You speak it into existence, you put energy into it, you create it. What are you grateful for? 3 little things, you know? It could be, I'm grateful I have a roof over my head. I am grateful I have water, and I am grateful that I have food that nourishes myself. Simple, easy, boom. But give yourself a little gratitude because you deserve it, because you are beautiful, because you are a wonderful human being, because you exist. Point blank, period. With that being said, thank you for listening to all of my gay little lore. Thank you for tuning into this Pride episode. Happy Pride. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. And with that being said, peace and love.